Good evening, Central Indiana. Welcome to Porch Time Live. I just went right through that, didn't I? It was like the Bible show.
I don't even know what you said.
Good evening, Central Indiana. Welcome to Porch Time Live from Casey's Cause Studio. Is that better?
Yes.
We're
very
live,
good.
by the way. It is Monday.
Yes.
Gorgeous night tonight. And gorgeous day today. But the rain moves in for the next 40 days and 40 nights. We're gathering gopher wood if you guys want to help. So good luck with that over the next coming days. Rain's going to rain all the way till Friday.
It doesn't start till Wednesday, though, right?
Tomorrow night.
What? I need to... Oh, never mind.
I don't care about that. That's irrelevant on this show.
Okay. I know. Yeah. I'm good.
We are going to talk long division...
And assessments.
And assessments tonight. The tax show. I know. Everybody calm down. But this stuff's important.
It is.
It's vital.
Hot button topic.
It is a hot... Is it?
All over the county. What are you talking about? Everywhere.
I don't pay attention to that stuff anymore.
I've been talking to a lot of people lately, and they are all concerned about property assessment and property taxes.
All right. Just going to clear the air. We have the county assessor.
Yes.
In the house tonight. Reva, how are you, dear?
I'm wonderful.
I'm glad to have you in here.
Me too.
I'm glad Beth's in here. I know about as much about taxes is enough to get me in trouble. In 58 and 9/10 year, I've avoided prison for that, and I hope to continue that for the next 8 to 10 years. So I'm not a big fan. 8
to 10 is all you need?
You know, at 70, what are they going to do to you? You know?
Oh, nice.
You know what they say, 5/4 all problems start with math.
And she's got a sense of humor.
Oh, she does.
County assessor has a sense of humor.
Reva's awesome.
And she was like, to start the conversation, Beth is like, do you know Kevin? Have you met Kevin? And her comment was, I saw him get in a hot air balloon. I almost left at that point. That's PTSD, PDTSD, whatever it is.
What?
Bad memories from that hot air balloon because it about snapped loose on me.
Oh,
and I could have ended up in Johnson County or something.
Oh, my gosh. It was a tethered hot air balloon. It was all under control.
They didn't let anybody in after you went.
Because it was at the end of the...
She think I'm joking. No, the wind got too strong.
Oh.
Yeah. I did go up in it, but I've got to tell you, that basket is not for short people.
No. Climbing, you see me with my bad leg climbing into that
I'm I'm never coming out of this basket.
When it went going in wasn't bad because he had a step stool, but coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing in there to get you out.
No, they were like pushing me out like a bag of potatoes. And I was like, I don't ever want to do this again. This is humiliating and scary. And I didn't realize that the condensation goes up and then it freezes and then it falls back on your head. And so, it was miserable. Don't ever do a hot air balloon. Ever.
It was fun.
Beth did it. But I mean, it's just, that's her gig. I don't enjoy stuff like that. All right, we're talking taxes tonight.
Property taxes. We have the Morgan County Assessor in the building tonight. How long have you... Hello, Reva. How are you?
I'm good.
It's good to have you in here, dear.
He's rattled.
It's been a trying evening for me, but...
We're making our way through.
We're stumbling through it. How long have you been involved with the assessor process for the county, dear?
I started in 1990.
Oh, my.
So I needed a job in 1988, so I went to work for an out-of-state reassessment company. And my job was to go door to door, knock on the door, tell them that I needed to measure their house and measure their house for the reassessment. That's how I started, 1988.
So you got to do all the fun work. Gathering information.
Yes.
Was that so you said it's out-of-state company, but was it for Morgan County?
For the Morgan County
properties?
reassessment, for their 89 reassessment.
Okay.
Wow.
And at the end of that, I swore that I would never do another reassessment. And I've not missed one yet. Just like clockwork. Every so many years, whether you need one or not, I've been here.
So going back to something that was said earlier, someone was asking if you knew where a street was. You know where every street is in this county.
Yes.
Wow.
if you put me on one side of the county and tell me to get to the other side as fast as you can, I would say that I could beat anybody, because I know every little back road that takes you.
Right.
Yeah.
Audra says, I bet she can measure a wall accurately by just looking at it.
Ooh.
Tape measures come in handy.
Yeah. Tape measures are a wonderful thing, as long as you don't have to get in with a bull. Then I can measure a wall just by looking at it.
Right. There you go. All right. Taxes come out here real soon.
Yes.
Can you walk us through that? The assessment process.
I can.
And how that goes about getting to our house and taxes and all that stuff.
Yes. So we start with the physical characteristics of every property in Morgan County. So every home, new or old, has been measured at some point in time by us, physically on the property. So we start with basically what we call sticks and bricks. So if your home is frame, we have you and you're 1 story on crawl, you're a 1-story frame on crawl, and we have all of your measurements. We hopefully know if you have 1 bath, because all assessments start being priced out of a cost manual, just like an appraiser would with Marshall and Swift. They take the physical being and they price it out of a manual. And then,
so it's a Kelly Blue Book type of deal
of homes, yes. And that book is created every 5 or 6 years. The state comes up with a new manual, and every year now for some time they have been updating their cost tables. So every year we apply whatever cost tables that the state hands down to us to your physical characteristics, and that starts you with at least a beginning value. Now sometimes that value is high, so we're supposed to be at market value as of an assessment date, 100% of market value. So whatever you would expect to sell your home for on the market as of 1/1 of whichever year we're talking about. This year's taxes would be 1/1 of 25. Then whatever you would expect to get for that on the market is what our goal is to be at.
I have to interrupt because in the last 5 or 6 years 4 or 5 years before this, housing boomed. And I know from being in real estate, houses that were selling for 130 to 140 were now selling between 250 and 270, if not higher.
Right.
How do you guys adjust to that? Well, because that's 100% markup. Easy.
I think you'll get to that in just a second, right?
Right. So we have to
say something because it was fresh in my mind.
Right, that's good. No, stop me, because if you're having a question, I'm sure there's other people that have that same question. We price it out of the manual, and let's just say it prices at $200,000. So then we have to use every sale that happened the entire prior year. So from 1/1 of 24 all the way around to 12/31 of 24. Every sale in the county that is deemed valid. So active buyer and seller that are both willing in the market, it's been exposed to the market, and then it sells. Now we have a sales price for that house or houses like that. So everybody gets put in with like houses, so everybody gets put in a bucket. If you're in a subdivision, great, because most subdivisions you're looking at houses that were built about the same time. They're about the same, they're usually the same builder, so they're built alike, they're about the same age, they have about the same amenities, so those are perfect. So if you have a home that sells in that neighborhood, and we have to have at least 5 sales in that neighborhood before we can even change anything, because the state has us prove that. We'll get to that boring little tidbit later. Then we have a sales price, and whatever it takes to get what priced out of the manual equal to that sales price, that's what happens. And if it's pricing up here in the manual and here's the market, then you have a 0.90 multiplier, and that brings that manual down to here. And anytime that you feel like you have gotten away from what you think you could get for on the market,
on a sale,
you want to come in and you want to tell us, because we want to know. We do everything in-house. We're one of the only counties out of 92 counties, there are only 16 counties that do all of their assessment and reassessment work and trending in-house.
Oh, wow.
Everybody, they hire a company, like how I started. They hire.
I was gonna ask,
yeah. So,
Kurt has a comment. This is why it's, one, unfair, and also why too erratic. The current discussion is about the legality of tax.
Well,
we're not to tax yet. We're still talking about assessment right now.
Right. Well, the legality of tax is kind of not, as long as the state of Indiana says that we have to pay.
Control.
Right. Oh, that is so far out of it.
But she can still talk on it.
Right.
Some of it. So.
But as long as the state of Indiana says that we have to pay property tax, because trust me, Kirk, I don't care for paying property tax myself, which probably sounds really funny coming from the tax assessor. But I'm not really the tax assessor. I'm the assessor. I only come up with the assessed value. You can easily find out from the market what your home would be worth. And that is my one and only job, is to have you at that. If the county never gets one single dime of money out of that, that is not my concern, because I can't be effective and be that. I have to put an assessment on it.
Yeah.
And he's right. There are a lot of really unfair things about assessing, about taxing. I mean, we don't get a vote every day on how your tax dollars are spent.
Right.
But they sure come to you to get your tax dollars. And that's where the rub comes in. And I'm a nerd. I love having the assessments where they should be, at market. I hate that it ends up being a tax bill. And that's what makes...
Will you talk a little bit on checks and balances, like who's looking over the work of our county assessor's office? Like, who's checking your numbers?
We're doing that right now. So every year we have to submit ratio studies that prove that the numbers that we are using we are using the guidelines that they give us.
The state.
Right.
Okay.
The Department of Local Government Finance tells us exactly how we're supposed to arrive at that assessment. And it's through mass appraisal, so it is not exactly like a fee appraiser. So you don't go find 3 perfect matches to your home. You put everybody that's like your home in a big bucket.
So unlike the comps on a real estate, if I'm going to sell a house or if I'm going to list a property, I take a 5-mile radius roughly and try to find comps. 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, whatever it might be.
Correct.
And whatever those sold for roughly, that's where I'm going to hope to guide them to, at least they're in the ballpark of what, here's one that just sold very similar to your square footage, blah, 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 200,000. You're one that listed 250. We're going to be too high. You take the entire county.
Right. Well, everybody's in a neighborhood, so we get it way smaller than that. So we start out with each township is its own taxing district. So each township, and then every subdivision where we have like houses, would most likely be its own neighborhood. When you're out just in the meets and bounds where you're just acreage in the township, then it gets a little tougher to get that honed in. But
especially when some of those don't sell very often. So
oh, sure.
Right.
And those are usually unique properties the further out you get into the county, I would assume, out in the country.
Right. Well, and we're a very diverse county. I mean, you can drive down the road and here's a single wide mobile home, and 3 doors down is a $250,000, $500,000 home, $1 million home.
Yeah, no, it's 2026 now. You may as well start at $500,000 to $1 million.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
I showed you that the other day.
Yeah. Will you go back to the ratio study?
Sure.
And
So we supply the state with all of the sales that we got within that year. And then they make us prove that we used them all in the ratio study. So we can't cherry pick to get higher sales. We have to use every sale that the state of Indiana deems valid for the county.
Yeah.
And then if we don't use it, we have to have a reason, and that's a reconciliation file that they make us provide them. So every home we didn't use that came in the prior year, we have a reason for it. It sold, it wasn't exposed to the market.
So like a sale by owner sort of situation where they went ahead and sold to somebody and it never went with a realtor.
Or it sold to their son or their grandson, or there's a lot, or it was a foreclosure, heaven forbid. But I mean, there's lots of things that don't qualify as a sale, but we have to prove. Then we have to prove that within each township, that after you applied every sale, that they fall within 90 to 110% on average of what the houses are selling for.
So there's somebody watching your department and making sure that you're not overpricing homes or underpricing.
Right.
But,
Big Brother's watching.
Right.
Yeah.
They want that money in the end.
But and here's the thing. An assessment is an assessment. That the assessment, there's a 3-prong. I won't call it an attack. Three things that have to happen in order for you to get a tax bill. You have a budget, so everybody who needs money has to come up with their budget. And then we have assessed value, which is what I come up with. And then I send that to the auditor, and then they apply all exemptions that you are eligible for. And then that comes up to what is called net assessed value. And then the equation is budget, the need, divided by the net assessed value equals tax rate. And then that's where you get your tax rate, and that tax rate gets applied to each individual assessment and becomes a tax bill.
So the budget you're talking about is county government's budget.
Yeah.
All the departments.
Library, police, fire, schools, county.
Kristen.
So schools is part of that. Schools doesn't have its own percentage.
Well, when you look at it, they're their own unit of government, so they have their own rate.
Okay.
But everybody's rate gets added together and becomes the total tax rate.
Gotcha. Okay.
So to do a reassessment, the state Constitution says that there has to be a reassessment rate. So I have my own tax rate. My own tax rate is 0.01 of whatever your tax rate is. I am 0.01. So we do all of the county's assessing in Morgan County for 1 penny.
1 penny.
Yeah, and I am quite proud of it. Because since I've been assessor, I've also lowered our budget 2 years running. So I believe in being frugal. As frugal as you can be. I don't know if you can get below 1 cent. I don't know. I mean...
Do we even count pennies anymore?
Well, we do for tax rate, yes.
Yeah. But, so are we ready to move into talking about exemptions? I know that's not your office, but
sure.
Just to let people know what might be available to them.
Right. So every year you have the opportunity to file for exemptions. Homestead would be probably the largest exemption that we have. Now, thanks to Senate Bill 1, it is going to be changed up quite a bit over the course of the next 4 years. but it's still a big deal. So you don't want to not have your homestead filed.
And when do you file for that?
You can file for it all year for that year, for the next tax bill. So if you're in 26 right now, you would be filing for the tax bill, an exemption on the tax bill that you will receive in 27.
But you don't have to file for it over and over again, right? You just, so when you first move into a home, when you first buy a home,
right?
You file it, it stays with you, right?
So to be qualified for a homestead.
How long is the homestead exemption good for? She's asking.
Forever.
Question. Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as you occupy that home as your primary residence, that is, your homestead is good. And to my knowledge, the only reason that they would ever think that they might need to take a homestead exemption off would be if you changed your physical mailing address on your property tax. So that would make it look like you didn't live there anymore.
Oh, so you would just have to you'd have to have a conversation with the auditor's office.
Right. And so I did talk to Linda today, and she said to remind everyone that here, when you get your tax bill, there is also on that front sheet, right down in the bottom right corner, it says what all exemptions that you are getting. Oh. So you can check every year when you get your tax bill to make sure you're getting all the exemptions that you think you should be getting. But there's an over 65, which used to it had assessed value limits. And so there were people who didn't qualify for it because the price of their house had gone up too much.
Oh.
Yeah. So Senate Bill 1 took that off. So now you still do have earning limits, which to me, here's where I'm an advocate for property taxpayers. If you're over 65 and you qualify for exemption, give them the exemption. Why do you put limits to it? If it's on the house you live in, and you qualify, if you're over 65, then you should get it. Period.
So there's an earning limit on it?
Yes, and I don't know what they are. But they've bumped them way up because your Social Security doesn't count as part of that income, so it would have to be either a pension or
earned credit, or
right,
income.
Something, So other than that, a lot of people now qualify for it that never qualified for it before. So to any of our over 65s.
Linda's on there.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look, over 65 is no longer a deduction. It is a credit.
Oh.
You go, girl.
Okay.
Kristen says, my taxes are escrowed in my mortgage. Do I get the tax bill in the mail?
Yeah.
Well, you don't get the bill itself, but what you get is you get a copy of the bill that your mortgage company requested be sent to them.
Yeah. And it usually says on there something about that you don't pay,
right,
don't pay or whatever, but it gives you still get all of the information. Right. So you'll still get something.
And any time that you have questions about your assessment or your tax bill, if it's your assessment, come up to the assessor's office. We will make you a copy of your property record card, and we will walk you through every aspect of that card. And as always, I encourage anyone who thinks that they could not sell it for what we have on it to come in and visit us, because we want to be right. Mm-hmm. In fact, it's more of a benefit for us to be correct than it is to not be correct.
Right.
Because if you have mistakes and a house sells, and we don't know that we don't know about things that are in that house, then we could be using a bad assessment to figure out what number needs to adjust everyone like them. So we don't want to be wrong. We want to be right. And that's what the notice of assessment does. The notice of assessment is not a final number. It is a proposed number based on the sales that we had to work with. And we send that out, and then you look at it, and if you go, there's no way my house would sell for that, we need to know. And irregardless of how much it ends up being as a tax bill. I mean, that's the part where, I can't worry about people's tax bill I have to worry about their assessments.
Make sure the assessment's right.
But theoretically, doesn't the market control all that, though?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've not been buying any houses, so it's...
That's why the sales, that's why she's talking about you have to pull all the sales.
So, but I mean, I saw in here, I think it was Kristen said that property tax seems to be going up every year. I would say over the last 4 or 5 years that's correct, but I believe the market's cooled off. The housing market has come down some.
It has leveled, but here...
Even though the interest rate has dropped, it has leveled some.
Here is what I will say. That I showed this to Bethany whatever day it was last week.
Remember to get back to the other exemptions as well.
Right.
I'm trying to keep that in my mind.
I know I have a ton of questions, though, and you keep telling me to shut up in a
because
kind
I'm
way.
trying to stay on track.
Yeah. So
she doesn't interrupt anytime.
I know. I did.
I should have warned her.
I did.
I interrupt normally anyway.
Well, that's okay. So
don't break it.
The housing market is dependent on how many houses are for sale when you are looking to buy.
Sure.
And so far in this increase after increase in your assessed value in what people's houses are selling for, that's what we've been seeing. And I asked her, I said, we roughly have 35,000 residential improved parcels in Morgan County. Out of 42,455 parcels, at least 30,000 of them are improved with a dwelling. And out of those, how many would you expect if you went shopping for one today would you find for sale?
In the whole county, how many?
In the whole county, how many would you expect?
Out of 42,000?
No,
out of 30.
30 houses?
Out of 30,000.
Yeah. So there's 42,000 whatever
I'd say
total parcels, but they're
between
businesses.
2,000 and 2,500.
Okay, how about 160? There were 160 houses on my board when I brought it up the other day to show
That was
her.
last week. That's it.
160 active listings. That's it. And so out of that, 20 of
wide?
Yes.
Yeah, 20 of them, 2 of them were non-livable and were under 100,000. Then from 100,000 to 200,000, there were 20. And then the next 40 were from 200 to 300,000. Now, 300 there's roughly 60 houses that are below 300,000 for the majority of people who are shopping for homes. I know I couldn't afford more than that.
I'm adding subdivisions.
She's adding everything.
It's the whole thing.
But even the plots.
Yeah, everybody.
Really?
Yeah. And that's the problem. So if you go out shopping for a home and there's only 160 houses for sale, you've got at least 20 people that are vying for one house. And so they'll pay what the asking price is.
It's hard to find a house to get a VA loan. Yeah, I 100%.
Amen.
Especially 5 years ago, in 2020. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and it's unreal. And for in 2019 was the first year that we saw a spike in that because of low inventory. And when COVID hit, we went, oh, that'll kill that. No, it was like it hit the gas. So now all of a sudden it just kept going up and up and up. And I'm sure that when you ask a legislator if they ever dreamed that when they put us at marketable value, that they would see markets increase year over year, what we have been seeing in the market.
Right.
They would have said no way. But we used to be reproduction cost minus depreciation. And in that boat, if you'd ever told me that you'd had to have paid $8 for a 2x4, I'd have told you were nuts too. So, I mean, it's just, it's
the price of wood has gone through the roof.
But the part of this that we can control at the county level, that we can try to control at the county level, is the budget part. It's the part where you have to I mean, if I don't have the money to buy a new car, I'm not buying a new car. So we have to. The county
you mean
has
personally,
to. Right. The county has to think that way.
You're asking politicians?
Yes, I am one. I stood right in front of them and told them that I was out of the spirit of leading by example. And I had 2 people retire, and instead of filling the positions automatically, I let them go back. So because through modern technology, from my office, that's not every office, but because we measure, we have really nice aerials and really nice measuring tools that when all you're doing is verifying information you already have. It wouldn't work for a new home. You have to go out and measure those. But when you're just verifying measurements and seeing if people still have an outbuilding, you can do it from an updated aerial first. I mean, there are times when you have to go out. If there's too much tree canopy, you have to go out. But we gave back 2 vehicles and we gave back 3 full-time people.
Wow.
Because modern technology had made it to where we didn't need them. Because in my mind, and I know I'm new to this part of this, I can measure your house and assess it all day long. Being the assessor and being in charge of people that are under me, I could not stand it if I hired somebody and then next year had to tell them that I had to let them go because there was no money in the budget. And Senate Bill 1 is going to make some changes. And so, I mean, we are truly faced with some dire decisions, but we need to be proactive.
Mm-hmm.
And wood is relatively cheap, 2 to 3% per year since 2000. It's everything else in the house. And then Kristen asked, when do they update the flood zones?
Well, that's up to they updated them after 2008.
Who does that? That's the Board of Works? No. Zoning and appeals, isn't it?
No, that comes from the state.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, that's actually a state map handed down to us.
That's true, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, since we got the levy,
right,
they didn't go up where they would have had to have flood insurance.
Right.
All on the west side of the city.
Right.
My biggest question, let's say I work till I'm 60 years old, and I pay on my house and I pay it off. Why would I have to pay taxes on that?
Well, because right now
that's going to be a question you're going to get 1,000 times, though, I bet.
Sure. And I have thoughts on that. I get on my soapbox in my office. It's almost a fairly decent show. Wind her up and watch her get excited. But so if you pay on your house and then you still have to pay property taxes, that property tax, you're not paying to keep your home. You're paying based on you're paying a local tax that is arrived at by valuing your home. Now, what would make that really awesome is if while all of the legislature folk are up there making decisions, that maybe they should say that somebody would never be able to lose their home by not being able to afford to pay taxes. Could you imagine what that would do?
Right.
Because that's what should be. I mean, you shouldn't have to be in fear of losing your home because people, nobody's asking you how they want, what you think about how they're spending money.
Anthony Locke says FEMA controls the flood maps, which
FEMA would be federal, right?
Hey, Anthony.
Yeah. So let's go way back and let's talk about the rest of the.
Linda's got a comment I wanted to
Right.
The blind disabled deduction is now a credit. Also, the disabled veterans deduction will transition to a credit for pay in 2027, and veterans will need to reapply to receive starting July 1st. The auditor's office will send a mailing to those currently receiving disabled benefits, which I am one of those. We have to have it. But since the improvements have done, we don't have issues with flooding East South Street. And then Trent wants to know why you value the home so high.
Trent, you should have been on the beginning of the show.
Watch you start, Trent.
You must have missed that part.
It has to be at its marketable value. We are a 100% market value state. So whatever you would expect to sell your home for, that is what we should have you valued for. And if we do not, we want you to come in and visit us.
So are there any other exemptions that we should talk about?
I think that she covered them. So blind, disabled
veterans,
over 65, disabled veterans,
and your homestead.
Yeah.
That's okay, Trent. I'm just teasing you.
No, she's not, Trent.
I am too. But okay, so that's exemptions. Let's see. Well, have we told everyone you're going to expect to receive your tax year 2025 tax bill at the end of this week? So they're going to mail out on Wednesday from the auditor's office. Right? Auditor's office.
That's the plan, is to mail on the 1st.
Yeah. So end of this week, beginning of next week, you're going to receive your bill for tax year 2025 due in 2026. If you don't like that tax bill or the rate, or how much you have to pay and all that, there's nothing you can do about it at this point, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Once we mail out a notice of assessments at the end of April every year.
Yes.
Then you have until June 15th, or if that falls on a weekend, the following workday.
Okay.
To file an appeal. And we encourage it. We do not shy away from, we want them right. I can't say that enough.
Okay, so the end of April, beginning of May, you'll receive your 2026 assessment. So it'll just be a notice, and it has different columns. So it says what your 2025 was, what your 2026 is.
Correct.
And like Reva's saying, if you disagree with anything that's on there, or say, what were you telling me last week? Something about if the house has certain if it's
you may have issues. We only get around the outside of your home,
right?
And I understand that. I don't want strange people in my home, and I don't want to come in your home. I don't need to. But if you have issues about your home that affect its sellable value, then we need to know about them.
What would be an example?
So, if you have fallen under, like if you have a lot of deferred maintenance, so and this happens a lot to elderly folks. So they're just making by because they come from a generation that just made do, and so they don't put new toilets in just to stay up with the most current look, so they may be living in a 1950s house that has a 1950s toilet. And so if all of the houses in that neighborhood that are selling after they've been renovated, then those homes are different than what are selling. And we try to be very careful about that. We have a lady that looks over our sales that is like a super sleuth. I mean, she tries to know what it is, because if you are an updated home and you sell, and then everybody else in your neighborhood hasn't been updated, and I use your sale to adjust you guys, then I have just wrongly assessed everybody but him in that entire neighborhood, and we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to think about, and it's just.
Can I catch up here on some
Sure.
statements? Anthony says the state uses the federal flood maps produced by FEMA. To remove a property from a flood zone, you must submit an application to FEMA with a base flood evaluation report. Corey's looking at that site now. In case of properties affected by the levee, you just have to sit and wait until the state sends the updated levee reports to FEMA, in which they will update you back into a floodplain X. This takes time and government shutdowns do not help. Elevate doesn't have
You're reading from bottom up.
current.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's conversations going on in the chat, which is good.
Yeah, Corey's talking about Elevate doesn't have current tax info anymore.
Yeah, he's saying use lowtaxinfo.com.
Yep.
Oh, now he's saying Elevate went back. Yeah, because I've seen it in there, but
Yeah, it's really weird. While they're calculating, they like disappear, and I don't know why they have to do that, but who knows?
How many properties? How many housing units in the county? 42,000.
No.
We parcels in the county are 42,455
Okay.
for 25 payable in 26. For 26 payable 28, that number is 42,823.
You said
42,823 is for this year we're working on.
Wow. That's a lot of folks.
We built over 400, maybe even 500 new houses this year that we picked up.
since January 1 of 26?
No, of 25.
Oh, 25,
so
okay.
for all of 25, we picked up roughly 400 houses, new. Between Homestead and Monrovia.
Grand Oaks?
Well, no, not so much Grand Oaks.
Okay, okay.
Madison Township with the Enclave and with Heartland Crossing. And then Martinsville with Hannah Farms. I mean, they went gangbusters in there. I mean, we've picked up a lot of new houses.
So walk us again through the assessment process. If you come back and say my house is worth $200,000 and I want to dispute that, what do I do?
Well, you come into the assessor's office.
Which is where?
It's at 180 South Main. It's in the old part of the building, so once you go through security, turn left and come upstairs.
They didn't put you in the new part
We're
yet?
sweet. Oh, no, we're never going to the new part.
She'll move over to the courthouse.
Eventually,
when the
we'll go
courthouse
back
is
to
finished.
go back where I started.
After they get the asbestos and the mildew and the mold out.
Yes, I hope. You want to come in and you want to file a Form 130, which is a petition to initiate review. And just tell us, if you can, any information that you can give us to help us get to a better number, we welcome it. And you just have to do it by the 15th of June after you get your notice at the end of April.
Mr. Wood says Martinsville will need to rein in spending, or a lot of investors like me will be liquidating Morgan County real estate.
Well, I don't think it's just Martinsville. I think it's unfortunately.
Yeah. It's going to be it's going to be tough. But I encourage all of my fellow
Elected officials
and anybody in charge of a budget. If you're at the head of a department,
heads, that's what
people are at the end of their spending ability.
Yeah.
I mean, not to get so super personal into my own life, but I owned a home with my mom. My mom passed in January, so I am now sole house payment maker, taxpayer, and insurance payer. There's nobody else besides me to pay that. So I understand how quickly that people's lives can change and how your ability to pay changes.
Anthony says, I know this process well. Then Seth says, why would you want to dispute the worth of your house to pay less on taxes or to get more money back? Sorry, I cheated my way through high school trying to catch up. We had a building on Morgan Street increase 52% in 1 year. We had a hearing last week.
Yes.
Well, let's answer Trent first, because I think he's saying he really is asking.
Right.
So why would you dispute the worth of your house?
Well, I mean,
how's it going to affect the homeowner?
It's not going to affect you to dispute your I mean, nobody else is paying attention to your assessment. Everybody has their own way of coming up with your value. When you call your insurance company and you're getting a new quote on how much you're going to pay for your home insurance, they're going to take physical measurements of your home. Probably they're going to use ours, which is another reason you want your assessment to be correct. Other people use our information. But it's not going to affect how much you could sell it for. And we should always, since we use a year behind sales, we should always be behind the market. But since we don't always have sales to move things forward, then sometimes things get under assessed because if we don't have at least 5% sales in a neighborhood, we are not allowed to move them for the sake of moving them. So you can see years where your assessment may not change as much, because we just don't have the sales to prove it. And then all of a sudden, when the market started booming, people started selling stuff, and then all of a sudden we had more sales, and we were like, oh wow. And we have to prove that we are treating everybody. We treat an unsold home the same as a sold home because we're not allowed not to. They do what is called, and these are going to be stupid names, this is statistical data, but it's called the Mann-Whitney test. And they run it on every parcel in the county after we get our sales in. And they have to make sure that everybody that we put in the same neighborhood has the same multiplier as the guys who sold, because we are not allowed to treat unsold properties different than sold. And
okay, so it's not going to change how much you can sell your house for, but
right.
What will it do for that homeowner? Say, the assessment comes in at $250 and they don't think there's any way they could sell their house for $250. There's no way they're going to get more than $200. So, and if they were able to get that changed, how will that benefit them?
Well, because the tax rate gets applied to each individual's assessment. That's where it goes from being everybody gets used to calculate the tax rate, then each individual's assessment gets applied to that tax rate. You pay per 100. So whatever, look, City Marshall actually had their tax rate lower this year.
So, okay. So what you're saying is their tax bill would be less.
Right. Right.
So should their assessment be lowered, they would be paying less in tax.
Right.
So that's one benefit. Plus you brought up insurance. So if your house is actually worth less than, if you get it lowered, through the assessor's office, then your homeowner's insurance may go down as well. So that would be because some of your insurance, your homeowner's insurance is based on how much your
few comments
your limits.
to catch up on. Bernie says they raise values every year, and I've appealed two times and won 2 times. They just raise it double next, and you cannot win. Rick Burnell, the City of Martinsville actually had their tax rate lower this year. Ed has a good question. I may have missed it, but Morgan County has artificially low property taxes due to our high income tax. Will income tax go down to offset the increased property tax?
Nope.
And Seth says, okay, thank you for answering. Also, thank you, Beth, for deep diving my question.
That's right.
I get no love. It's kind of
trying to keep order here, Seth.
So we think the odds of the income tax lowering to offset increased property tax? I can't see that happening.
No chance.
Well, no, because Senate Bill 1 just gave the green light for them to raise it up to 2.9. So we're like at 2.7. And
so income tax is going to go up.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't say that.
Could.
It has an opportunity to go up.
Yeah, another point too. I mean, we jumped on that bandwagon a long time ago, and at the time they made that decision, it seemed like a smart thing to do because it would make we could use that as a credit to make property tax cheaper. But But instead, then when they created your tax caps, when you were guaranteed that you would never pay more than 1% of the assessed value of your house, not dreaming that the market would go up, because that just looks like another money grab. I mean, I understand. If I didn't work where I work, I understand exactly that line of thinking. It just looks like we're trying to grab money wherever we can. I mean, if you can never pay more than 1% of your assessed value, we'll just raise your assessed value. Now you get more money. But we just have to be at marketable value. Until the market goes down, we have to mirror the market. And I'm not buying houses. So whoever's buying them, until they start paying less for them, they're going to stay assessed where they're at. I mean,
so it's kind of a double-edged sword. You want your home to be worth to be high if you're wanting to sell, but you also don't want your house to be worth an astronomical amount because you're going to get hammered on taxes. Kristen, it's hard enough to get by as it is when everything goes up, but that doesn't help at all.
I had something I was gonna
I've got one.
go for it.
Florida, no property tax. How are they pulling that off?
well, people want to go to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And so people visit, and so they have innkeeper's taxes and all of the things that are service related for all of the vacationers there that help alleviate the fact that they don't have tax. Indiana is not a destination state. I mean, I don't go, let me,
During the month of May, we are.
Well, yes, we are. And,
but only a certain area.
But right.
Yeah. Think of Florida. You're going.
Yeah. So I mean, it.
Alligator Alcatraz doesn't count.
I will say this, and this is just my opinion, but which is probably worth nothing. But at least property tax. If I've never put a child through our school, but when I pay my property tax, I pay school tax.
Mm-hmm.
So I could get on that. That's not fair to charge me school tax. I've never had a kid in school, but I know I have friends that have kids in school, and I certainly want the kid that's making my change at least have some kind of education.
Right, you want the youth in our county.
We have a vested interest in not working all of our lives. So we have to have young people come up that can take these jobs over so we can retire. But at least you get to see some good out of it. You get to see. And I've been one to gripe about this, so I'm just talking to myself here. I sit at the football field, and I love our football field. It's very impressive. But if you knew how much that exactly cost you to the penny in your tax dollars, you wouldn't be near as impressed as you are when you're just sitting there watching your grandson play football. But that's all part of it. But at least you can go there on Friday night and you can see what your property tax dollars paid for. When you get sales tax if they want to up sales tax and do away with property tax, I'll retire tomorrow. But none of us will be able to afford a refrigerator next year.
Paying 15%.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And I said this to Bethany the other day. I firmly believe that that legislators' fear of actually changing tax laws to tax people out of their homes, which they're getting dangerously close. But the fear of it has been what has held their spending to the level it is now. But when you remove a personal tax like property tax, and it all becomes income tax that you don't get to see, it never shows up in your checking account. Okay. And sales tax, where you don't get to argue that because they'll just put it back on the shelf. But when we get so removed from the tax that there's no fear anymore, there'll be nothing to stop people spending.
Yeah, one thing that we said last week when we met was that, our property tax, we get that bill in the mail, whether it's the actual bill or just a notice. You see that dollar amount. If we purchased items all year long and didn't pay sales tax, but then got a bill the next April 1st for everything, for a percentage of everything that we bought the year before, oh my goodness, I couldn't even imagine what that number would, come up to, and how many people would be, angry and upset about this bill that they are getting at the beginning of April, 7% or whatever it may be, of everything they bought the year before. And if that goes up to 15%, because we just buy, I bought this drink right here before coming over here. I don't even know what I paid in sales tax for it.
Bernie asked, where do we rank statewide as highest taxes as far as...
What kind of taxes? Property taxes? Or
For property tax, we're way low. We're bottom middle. Easy. And maybe even lower than that.
Yeah, so property tax, the tax rate.
Right.
Yes, property tax rate.
I think the biggest issue, and I'm going to speak for the room. What's up, Jovi? Nothing to do with a few people around in the county, position-wise, stuff like that. Nationally, statewide, the word tax and politician, we can't stand it. Because,
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our hard-earned money goes to BS this, BS that, and then they want to raise this. They want to raise this. They want to raise that. Well, they're like, they left Washington and they're vacationing for 2 weeks, and we can't fund anything.
Yeah.
Both sides. Get rid of all of them. Start over, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Taxation is theft. Is the rally cry for far rights, and it gets your blood boiling. So, and I know line items and all that. You got to. This is income, this is property, this is that and that. But to common Joe guys like me and everybody else, it's all a tax.
Right.
Whether it's capital gain or this or that or the other, it's tax comes out of my wallet. And that's what we dislike. So anytime you hear tax, it's a negative. And it'll never be a positive. And how you've lasted this long in that position, man, you're a fighter, because that is a tough position to handle.
Okay, so I'll just say this about working in the assessor's office. I started out working for Brenda Britton, and if you didn't have the privilege of knowing Brenda was the #1 champion for Morgan County. She was as frugal as they come, and she was willing to fight for every taxpayer equally, and would. Now, if you want to come in and she knew she was right, she would argue you right down to the ground. But she'd be there every day so that you could come in and argue with her. And I said I graduated from Brenda Britton U, and I did. And that's exactly how I look at that.
What a great mentor to have.
But if not me, who?
Right.
I actually care about doing this job correctly. I could sit back and go, you know what? Let's just hire it done. And then I would still be drawing a paycheck and twiddling my thumbs because I'm elected. But you know what? I'm my best employee. No offense, Robin. No offense, Kathy. No offense, Rick. But I can work me as hard as I want. And I am willing to do so. I'll work till 8 o'clock at night every night if that's what it takes to get that job done.
Do other counties handle the assessment process the same way you do? Similar?
The assessment process is the same for every county.
Okay.
As far as the calculations.
As far as the calculations and what they have to do. That is completely 100% handed down. This is how you do it.
From the state.
And we have to do it. In fact, they make us be level 3 certified appraisers to do our job.
Oh, so you have, oh wow.
When they first started talking about going to marketable value, Brenda had so myself and 4 other ladies and Brenda worked all week, and then every weekend she paid for us to go to the Ratterman Appraisal Institute on the north side of Indy, and I have every credential to be a fee appraiser, and I'm still here. And I'm here because if not me, who?
You're a fighter.
Well, I mean, okay, so what if I don't do this job? What if I just say, fine, I'm tired of it? I could have retired like 4 years ago. I'm not old enough.
Don't do that.
To retire,
You're not allowed
but
to
I'm
retire.
old enough to retire from.
Like you and Mike Ellis can't retire ever.
Right.
Ever, and you can't retire either.
Well, I'd really like to own a food truck. So.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
a game changer.
Let's not go there yet.
What type of food we talking
get
about?
there,
But
Let's
yeah,
do that.
I'll get there. But anyway, so anything else anybody can think of. But if you think of something later, just call. I'm going to be in there tomorrow trying to finish passing my ratio study at the state and finishing up a few appeals just so I can get ready for the next appeal process. And
So your appeal process, property improvements, like if you went from got a new geothermal heater, your roof, room admit.
I got it, Penny. I remembered. I got to stick with it.
Room add-ons, outdoor structures, in-ground pools.
Yes. Okay. It's going. You know what? You know what I want.
that's
Okay.
good.
You know what I want. All right. We're on the same. Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
Just keep talking.
I'll just sit over here and look at my phone.
There's some new
you
things.
guys are talking without even talking.
There are some new rules or some new things that have occurred.
That's how, when you appeal, that's what's going to improve the price. Things that have happened that you have not been able to see from your vantage point.
correct. And or just things that happen as a course of general wear and tear. You know, and the manual is far from perfect, and we are far from perfect. If anybody tells you that they do 100% of assessing right, they're lying to you. Let me tell you, one dog bark and you can miss a whole entire detached garage. Because all of a sudden you have and you think that isn't a true story.
I know, I believe it.
Yeah. Because one German Shepherd barking at your rear end, and all of a sudden you are not looking in the direction of the garage
But
anymore.
that's not your scariest
No.
encounter.
That lowers my assessment, though. So that would help lower my assessment.
Probably not, but it might make me miss that detached garage until somebody sees it later.
So, like, release the dog now. That
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Well, it did a couple of times. I've had dogs released on me before.
That's
scary.
And other things. What's the worst one? Are you gonna tell us that?
A gun. This was back when I was working for the reassessment, and I was in Green Township, and I drove down this really long driveway and parked and got out, and I'm walking toward the front door, and the gentleman that owned the home came out he had been asleep on his couch. You could tell that I had woke him up, and he's
Holding his
britches up
with
because
one hand.
and has his holster tucked under his arm, and he's holding the .357 Smith & Wesson revolver, Clint, right at me, and he says, "I've been waiting all week for you to come down my drive."
Oh.
And my stupid, unfiltered mouth says, "Well, before you shoot me, can I at least tell you why I'm here?" I'm like, great, I'm going to go out mouthy, aren't I?
He went out fighting.
Yeah. So anyway, he had been robbed several times the week before, and he had taken a week off work to see if they were going to come back. And here I was in his driveway.
But he didn't tell her that till the end. He followed her around with that gun on her the whole time.
I went ahead and did exactly my job.
There for a while, it may not be, but I know when my wife at the time and I were in real estate, the number one hazardous job for females in the state of Indiana was dealing with real estate. Yeah. And that's
going to homes by themselves.
Yep. And bad things happen.
Right. But I had a cell phone since 1980. I had a car phone in 1988. After that incident, I went and bought one, and they were not cheap. But anyway.
All right, so let's talk about...
If we come knocking on
your door, make sure you have clothes on.
Yeah.
And leave your gun in the safe.
Yeah.
So let's go back
guarantees,
to
Kathy.
the
Okay,
changes.
Okay, so so Senate Bill 1 changed quite a few things. One of the things that it changed is you no longer can get an exemption or deduction, whatever they called it, for geothermal. Geothermal is gone.
Really?
Yes. I don't know what they're thinking, but
it's gone.
But it's
big in the
gone.
real estate game for a while. Well, if you had a geothermal, oh boy.
I have some mixed feelings about geothermal, because I have to tell you, in all my years of this, when people appeal and they bring in an appraisal, I have yet to see an appraisal. And if there's any appraisers listening, you can jump in here. But I have yet to see an appraisal that made a deduction to the comparables because they didn't have a geothermal and the subject did. So that's an appraiser saying that in the market, geothermal doesn't mean anything. But when we have to price it out of a manual as a different kind of heat, it's more expensive than the typical heat and air price.
Sure.
So I have, since it didn't matter when the exemption was allowed, because the exemption all the exemption did was whatever value we put on your home minus heat and air, but then add geothermal, whatever value that geothermal exemption did to your property. The auditor's office took that portion of the value off before they calculated your taxes. So you never paid one tax dollar on your geothermal unit. But when Senate Bill 1 did away with it for 1/1 of 25 in 26, you will be paying on geothermal heat that may or may not really have any effect on your marketable value.
Okay.
Wow. And I mean, we're only as good as what you can dig into, but I mean, to me, and just in case they decide to give you your geothermal exemption back next year, if they realize they shouldn't have taken it away, I don't want to take everybody's geothermal units off of their assessment card, because then we're going to lose information that we had.
Yeah.
But I'm just here to tell you, and I'm probably opening myself up for additional appeals. But you know what? If it makes the number right, that's what I'm interested in. So I'm just telling you, if you have a geothermal unit and they are very expensive,
oh yeah,
that your assessment could be a little skewed by that value pricing, because there's no way of unpricing it once it's on. I mean, we can make adjustments to it, but we have to have some kind of figure to adjust it to.
And then the other thing about the 1 acre deal, or the
homestead, that right. So they changed. This was back in 23 and then took effect in 24. So more things qualify as cap 1 for homestead property now. Pools, any porch deck, patio, any of that stuff all qualifies for when they calculate your homestead credit for right now, because it's all going to flip-flop through Senate Bill 1. Eventually, it won't matter. We won't have any of that, and they're just going to say whatever your total assessed value is, you're going to pay on 60% of that, or 62. I forget what that number finally at the end ends up being. But the homestead won't be an exemption or a deduction. It will be a dollar amount. It'll be a credit. that comes off of your tax bill, and it'll be 10% of your assessment, with a maximum that you can have off of $300.
Oh.
Now, everybody said, yeah, and to me, I don't know how that's going to play out. I have to see, because I don't do the calculating part, and I don't know exactly how that will end up working. But in my mind, that sounds like nobody has done any of us as property tax homeowners any favors.
No.
And if you can talk to your legislators, I mean, by all means.
Bernie's got a question.
Okay.
Does solar panel, does solar help with homes values?
I haven't seen it in the market yet, Bernie. Once again, nobody seems to be bragging up on when you sell a home that you have solar panels. So we have to see it in the market before I could give you a true, honest answer about that.
Robin had posted, it says Morgan County is ranked 85th out of 92 counties.
All right. Thanks, Robin.
Robin did the rescue.
What was it again?
85th out of 92.
Yeah, we're
85th lowest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Out of 92.
Yeah, not highest. No.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, then it's the property tax isn't horrible. Wait a minute. Retract it. It is.
It
horrible.
is.
All of it's horrible, but in comparison, yeah.
If you can't, if you are at the ceiling of what you can afford to pay, it's horrible.
Can you break down once again? Because I know you guys sent that sheet out, and this was a hot topic 2-3 years ago. All the categories this covers are property taxes, schools, and things like that.
So it covers your county, your town, all your township. So any township assistance, fire, police, sheriff, roads. There's road work that gets done for that, and then schools, library.
All your county government entities.
Yeah.
Because there was a breakdown.
Well, everything. I mean, it's your county,
Sure.
your town or city, township.
Right.
There was a breakdown at one point in time in the paper or online a few years ago. I thought it was pretty interesting. It says top 10 to 15 on income tax.
Oh yeah, we're way high there. I always said that made Morgan County a good place to retire, because then if you didn't have to worry about the income tax, but as tax rates have crept up, it kind of stole the thunder of any good that it ever did. And what we finally realized while we were brainstorming one day was that with it, what it does is it falsely keeps you'll never get to your cap if they keep upping the income tax to where it gives you just enough of a break that your assessed value never gets to where you're at 1% of your. So it's just another, I said for years, people would come in, I said, it doesn't matter if the government, and I am part of that, but if the government needs $200 out of you, it doesn't matter if I take 25 out of that pocket and call it sales tax, and I take 50 out of that pocket and call it income tax, and I take the other 100 out of another pocket and call it property tax.
Right.
I'm getting my money, and it doesn't. So, and that's what they're looking at right now, which kind of worries me, because if they and like I said, if they take property tax, if they say okay, no more property tax, I'm food trucking it, guys. I'm.
You have another plan,
Right.
Yeah.
And great, but I think that they'll just find a way to get more money out of you still. And it doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter. Okay, so back to Florida. Florida doesn't have property tax. No, they don't. But they have a lot of things that you have to pay. They have fees and other things. They just call it other things other than property tax. Mm-hmm. And my joke, as I always said, is if you don't like property tax, call it chocolate. Everybody loves chocolate.
I love chocolate.
It's still a fee. Last year they talked about doing away with property tax, and the first thing that legislators come up with on how to offset that was they were going to let the schools come up with an annual fee to make up for their loss of revenue. Well, folks, if you think that property tax is an arbitrary number, wait till somebody gets to just come up with a fee. to make up for their loss of revenue.
Right.
And there'll be nothing to rebut. You can at least come in and appeal your assessment.
That would be public schools, though. And then you would see a mass exodus of public schools.
Well, sure.
Wholeheartedly. More so than even you're seeing now.
Right.
They may, well, no, I guess, I don't know. I was going to say, you never know. They could start figuring out how to include all schools because...
Well, they're working on that, too.
Yeah,
they wanted to include all
because they're all
schools.
getting the vouchers now, so...
Right. I mean, it's...
Anthony says we're top 5 in income tax last time he checked.
Let's, can we talk a little bit about, the property owners who are purchasing homes and using it, for investment. So they're trying to rent these homes out, right? And rental cost has gone up so much that some of these investors can't up their rent anymore.
I looked,
right?
I Google searched today, what can you rent in Morgan County for $850 a month? And it sent me down a rabbit hole, but it gave me a listing of all of the, I don't forget what site it was, but all of these rental properties and how much you can get for them.
Oh, okay.
And a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath home that was 1,500 square foot was $2,200 a month in rent. Now, who can afford $2,200? Well, not me. I know that. I'm living in my car, folks. If that's where we end up heading, just know if you need to find me, I'll be in my car.
Food truck.
I'll be in my food truck.
Eddie says the public, they need to understand that their property tax does not pay for the road construction. It is a registration and fuel tax. And then Patrick says...
Not road construction, but it would pay for, well...
Yeah, it pays for paving because the commissioners each get so many miles of road they get to specify where they pave it at every year.
Does saying that Morgan County is a great place to retire due to low income taxes conversely suggest that it is not an ideal place for young people to live? That doesn't sound like a sustainable long-term plan for our community.
Well, it is not.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah, I do not agree with that. I just said that was...
That was the concept. Or
that seems to be what concept that they were embarking on. No, we need,
Yeah.
How much flack do you catch each week? Do people yell at you constantly?
Sure. And you know what? I'll listen.
No,
I will listen to you if you. I don't even care what it's about. It doesn't even have to be about property taxes. Just we can't get too loud because they start sending the security guys up to us now. I've learned that. I can't get loud. When I get passionate, I get loud, folks.
You're not being mean or argumentative.
No.
You're just passionate.
Yeah. And I'm a singer. I have a voice that carries. So here they come. Is everything okay? It's fine. Go back downstairs.
Oh my. Anthony says I'm getting gypped. I'm at 1,600.
So he's not getting $2,250 for his 1,600 foot rental.
Well, I didn't say they were getting it, but still, you're not getting it. You're not getting $850 either.
Yeah. So what are these folks supposed to do who are trying to provide rental homes?
Exactly. Well, it's been several years ago that I think probably the biggest thing that I hear from rental home owners is that they like the renters they have, and so they want to keep the rent as lower instead of raising it to what the market will allow, because they like having better renters
or they know they have renters who simply could not afford these numbers. I know Angela Alex told me that before. She's tried to protect several of their
it makes it really hard. But we don't have our rental properties super high, I don't think. And Anthony, you would be
3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. I get $1,650. Morgan's on the same house. If it was sold, would be about $2,300 a month. renting has become cheaper, avoiding turnover. Yeah.
Wow. Well, see, and I couldn't afford either one of those. So my house payment, folks, I'm full disclosure here. My house payment, when my dad passed away, and it was just my mom, she asked if I would go in with her, so I went in with her on the mortgage, and that was in 2011, and I pay $787.30.
Wow.
And I'd hate to have to pay any more than that.
To double that?
Yeah, I'd hate to double that.
But you probably got a decent rate and everything back then.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't be refinancing anytime soon.
3.2.
It's 3. I think it's 3. I can't remember if it's 3.65, 3.65.
It was 3.65 forever. He would know.
Yeah.
He would spout that off the top.
Yeah, but yeah, 2011. But I will say this: that when they appraised my home in 2000, the house that my daddy, it's a log home that my dad built my mom. So it appraised at $245,000 in 2011. And I just got offered one of those fly-by-night people who wants to just buy your home. They just offered me $409,000 for it.
I'm sorry I'm sick, Beth. You keep shooting me that look. She's like slapped me for coughing, isn't she?
I am not.
She is.
Okay, so is there anything that does the same deal go for investors? I mean, like Anthony, is he able to come in and talk about the assessed value of the home? So
the cool part about rental properties is that rental properties fall under a different type of assessing. So we are told that we have to entertain all three approaches to value. So income, market, and cost. And whichever is the lowest is the one we have to have you assessed at. So that is the benefit that comes to investors. That if you own rentals, that there are different. If you come in and let us know, I mean, we don't always know. I mean, what's being bought and whether you're a renter or you're a landlord or not. We kind of have no way of knowing. We just know you don't live there. And, assume there's lots of folks where the parents bought the houses and they quote unquote rent it to their kids. But, I know how that goes. If Junior misses a payment, well, Junior just misses a payment. So, I mean, are they rentals? Kind of. Are they, but I don't know. They don't get all the benefits of being a landlord in that respect. But, I mean, hey, we'll entertain. We want your value right. So, however you want to bring that to the table, bring it.
Hour and 23 minutes.
I know.
And you were worried. Quick show.
Yeah. You could talk about this forever because it is.
But you're extremely knowledgeable and you're easy to talk to too, and you're transparent as ever.
Well,
right.
She cares about it, all of us. So
you can't retire
because Brenda would come back and thump me.
You cannot ever retire.
Never say never.
Yeah.
You can bring the food truck there.
I always said that I was on the feet first retirement plan for the county. They was going to bring me out of there feet first.
Don't say that.
Yeah, don't say that.
Oh, boy.
I was going to ask because Kathy's still on here. Kathy, is there anything that we're forgetting to talk about?
While she's waiting on that, you like the new digs, even though you're in the old part of the new dig building?
It's all right.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's no different for her.
I mean, it's no different for me.
You stayed right where you were.
Yeah. I mean, everything on our side is just as it was. We came in one day and while they were building that facade up on top of our building to make us look more like the new building, and I came in and we had water all over the floor and panels out of the ceiling where the water and
oh no.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to brag a little bit, though. Not too many people know this, but that beautiful Christmas tree.
Oh, I already know where that came from.
Wasn't that beautiful?
Yes,
I drove through there and took a picture of it from Main Street. I was like, that that tree will always be special.
I went shopping right after Christmas because I had to wait till after Christmas.
Hello, Jason.
And found real ornaments and an automated angel that its wings go like this.
Yeah.
That's about this big, which will suit that size tree
For next year? For this year?
So this coming year
cool.
it could
Good.
Good.
And just as I've done multiple property value disputes over the years, and it's always been an easy process in Morgan County. Yeah, I thought that was a perfect place for that tree, and whoever set it in that hallway, so you could see from the road, they did well. And I'm glad it has a home. Because she got tired of it in her garage, and I got tired of it in my garage. Like
the one that was in our building was, I donated it. It's long gone now, but I donated it. It was a 12-foot artificial tree, and I got tired of putting it up by myself because I'm not tall, and me on an 8-foot ladder, I still couldn't reach the top.
No, right.
So I got tired of it. So I donated it, and it was our tree in our part of the building for probably 10 years. Because I just couldn't, I had all I could take of that tree. I'm like, just give me a 7-foot tree.
we got you 15-footer now.
Right. Well, yeah, but I don't have to be the chicken that climbs up the ladder to decorate it. Because I don't like heights. God made me short for a reason.
Amen. That's why I don't like flying.
Yeah, that balloon. I did that balloon.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
That was Valita.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, she suckered me right into that one.
Yeah. I understand. I said yes. I'll let somebody use my
Maybe it's a wrecker, not police.
my music equipment for all of the bands that they have at the Waverly Festival. That first year that they had the festival, and I've been in charge of running sound for the festival every year since.
Really?
That's how that works.
So you get to go on hot air balloon?
Yeah.
Well, they only had it that one year.
Well, she's family.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she's my cousin. Her mom, her grandpa, and my mom's is my mom's brother, or was my mom's brother. So
She's
Alita's
amazing.
grandpa was your mom's brother.
She's an
so was your uncle.
amazing lady.
Yeah.
And we love her. And she's been in here several times. She's a good gal.
I don't ever tell her no. She's fun.
Anybody else on here have any more property tax questions or property assessment?
I'm curious
Questions,
what the record's doing outside.
I know. I'll go look. Because otherwise, you could talk about food truck.
Yeah.
I know. See what they're doing.
I will.
Oh, there was a car broke down that they pushed back. Is it right on the other side of mine?
Yeah, they get right there in the car.
You never know around here.
Yep.
I've seen it all.
Yep. I thought they were red and blue lights there for a minute.
I know. I was like, I'm running. Should we run?
Just remember,
They're getting me on my taxes.
I didn't do it, and if I did, I'm not guilty.
Hey, look. There's our next commissioner. Oh, boy. All right. Food truck.
Yeah.
We're done with taxes.
Yeah.
Unless anybody has questions.
Nobody
just
likes
jump on there.
taxes, but it's part of the way of life currently. Food truck.
And if you come into the office on the right days, I cook for you.
Now, why wouldn't you open with that?
Well, everybody who frequents the office knows these things.
When I was doing real estate part-time, I did it full-time for a while, and then I did it 12 years off and on part-time. But I went early on in the assessor's office and looking up all over the building, but I hadn't been in there forever.
Well, but I was always in the back because Brenda knew that she really couldn't trust my mouth, so she always had me in the back.
Now, I did talk to Brenda a couple times.
Yeah.
But it's been years.
Yeah. Now I have a guitar hanging on the wall in case you need me to sing to you.
Do you serenade while you're in there?
Not usually, but I can.
I mean,
at the Christmas party I do.
It's open, and if it happens, it happens.
But Fat Tuesday, we throw a spread for Fat Tuesday that would rival anybody. We start out with beignets in the morning, cut fresh and deep fried on site and powdered sugared and hand
Now,
delivered
what
to
do you
you.
know about Cajun food?
What do I know? Well, I went down to Louisiana so I could learn.
That's my favorite food of all time.
Yeah.
Pay property tax on portable structures, shed, storage.
Yes.
Anthony's going to talk taxes still.
Yes.
That's okay.
It's since 1989. So used to portable sheds, portable structures were you handled that through as personal property, and they had you put it on what used to be a Form 101, which is where you paid for your boat, your little John boats and your RVs and all of that good stuff. And then the state realized that was a big pain for people to have to do. So they changed the law in 1989 that said that your sheds are assessed wherever they sit on the assessment date. So if you have a shed in your backyard, we have it on your property record card. I will tell you that we don't like the pricing schedule for them because, and don't get me wrong, if you went and buy one, they're not cheap. I mean, you're going to pay $3,000-$4,000 for a shed. But if I go to buy that property and there's a shed back there, I'm probably not going to care. So we make them all degrade in fair condition, even if they're brand new. So because that drives the price of them down. So we try to keep an eye on them to make sure that their value isn't. I mean, you might pay $8 worth of taxes a year on a 16 by 12 shed or whatever. But
Matt Sanders, he's actually still active duty. But he sent me the new VA forms for the tax credits or tax relief.
For veterans.
100%. It's covers.
Yes.
Do you have that info? Do you know
no, that's Linda. That's in the auditor's office.
Okay. But there's some good stuff there, especially if you're 100% disabled.
Then they're inventory, and we don't pick them up.
Oh, you're talking about Anthony's?
Yeah.
Yeah, what if I had a lot filled with sheds, but they are all for sale?
We don't have inventory tax, and thanks to Senate Bill 1, if you can get $2 million worth of sheds on there, we'll look at it. But
storage units wouldn't count for that.
No, if he's letting people store stuff in them, that makes it a storage shed. That's different. But if they're just sheds and they're for sale, so you can buy it and take it to your home, then.
Hello, Savannah.
Did you see what Eddie said?
Yes.
I had her Cajun food a few weeks ago at the office. It is wonderful.
Thank you.
I went down. We didn't get to go this year. Some stuff came up. But I went down with Otis Pugh to shoot some hogs down at... I was stationed in Louisiana for a while when I was in. And then when I got out back up here, we went down there and went hog hunting. But the ranch that we stayed at, those guys, they would cook authentic Cajun food every night, just like I remembered when I was down there. And I'm not kidding you, I probably gained 30 pounds in 3 days.
So on Fat Tuesday,
it's fat every day down there.
We made shrimp and cheesy grits.
Oh my gosh.
We made seafood cornbread dressing. I made chicken and sausage jambalaya. I made shrimp creole, which
is phenomenal.
Oh, that's the first time I'd ever made that. That was really awesome. And I ran out of time, so I had bought 8 packages of crawfish tails. So the next day we made crawfish puppies, which were to die for, I will say. I don't usually brag that much, but oh my, they were just really good. And crawfish etouffee.
I was going to say, the etouffee is my favorite, but
yeah,
this is what they would pile all that.
Yeah.
They'd cook it all, all day. And so at midnight when we'd get back in from the woods, we'd eat that up. But I can eat etouffee and jerk chicken, everything you can think of down there. But if you give me a plate full of red beans and rice.
Oh, I made red beans and rice too.
With a little bit of crawfish in it.
I made tasso ham.
Did you?
And red beans and rice, because not everybody will eat crawfish that just walks in. So I try to make different things so that everybody can leave with some enjoyment.
Where do you order your fish from, though? Your crawfish?
Louisiana Crawfish Company. They send it right to my door, and they start haunting me about middle of January.
Don't tell me things like that, because I'll be tonight. Where can I get some? I love
Louisiana Crawfish Company, and they send me little texts that say we have fresh live crawfish.
I tell people this. When I was down there was a, of course, there were several bars off post, but one of my favorite spots.
I've never even heard of most of that.
Right. One of my favorite spots was, a lot of GIs would hang out there. They literally had the crock pots on the floor boiling the crawfish right then and there. And they would scoop buckets out of those things, throw them on your table, and like the peanuts at Texas Roadhouse back in the day.
Oh, my gosh.
You'd throw them on the floor and they'd sweep up behind you. And, of course, there's 200 of us in there drinking beer and eating crawfish till all hours of the morning.
So
that was the place to go.
Not this year, but last year, I ordered 10 pounds of whole crawfish, flash frozen, and sent to me, and we did a crawfish boil right there, and it Instapot. Just used the Instapot and just turned it on saute and just let it
cook.
Sausage, corn, potatoes.
We have to go to the assessor's office on Fat Tuesday. Just so.
Well, we cook more than Fat Tuesday. We do all kinds of. We find occasions to just cook, just
because you like to do it.
Yeah.
Now, what got you into cooking Cajun food? Is it just something personal choice you liked?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
I wouldn't even mind if we had a Yats here. It's not true Cajun food. It's close enough.
We actually decided that maybe I should take the spot that was now it's been taken. No, right here there on Morgan Street that was
JK's and all
the Gyro place.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, ooh, I could put a place there, and I would have just a little bit of outside seating. That would be fun. Do beignets and just do a few specials a week and call it C'est Bon.
Are you serious?
Wouldn't that be fun? It's so good. It's so good,
move in there with you.
Huh?
We would move our studio.
We're live. But I'm like, yeah.
Authentic though. It's got to be authentic, because I like Yats and I like the place up in Mooresville, although the first time I went in there.
Not there anymore, but.
Yeah, but was what was it called? Zydeco's.
Right.
First time I went in there compared to the last time I went in there, a totally different taste, and they had quit doing it the way it's.
They had almost Americanized.
Yes.
It was no longer.
When you're down there stationed and you go to these mom and pop places that have been cooking the same stuff since their grandma and grandpas are doing it, and you taste that compared to this other stuff, you're like, oh boy, this is a totally different food.
Well, we make everything from scratch.
Yeah.
Right. In fact, they ask me, I made Creole shrimp because sometimes I make the Creole version of the crawfish etouffee, but everybody said they wanted authentic Louisiana etouffee with the brown sauce or with the roux. So we made it that way. You fry up your Holy Trinity, and then you dump flour in it, and then pour a little shrimp stock in it, and then you put your that's the way you do it.
We have the best assessor in the state of Indiana, by the way.
She ain't fat back.
Stop it! You make all this stuff?
Huh?
You just took brain chills and did that down there?
I would. I mean, but right now I got another gig. It's called assessing.
Remember when I said you can't retire?
Yeah, taking it back.
Oh my God.
That's phenomenal. So would your food truck be Cajun?
It would be all things. And
I'm ordering the red beans and rice.
It's called it will be called, I haven't done it yet, but it will be called Dig In Mobile Eatery.
Oh my. Savannah, I was wondering assessor or master chef. Dig In Mobile Eatery.
Yeah. So I cook. So the other thing my best friend and I cook at the Waverly Festival,
which is always the last weekend in September.
And all of the food that she and I and then all of the money goes back to the festival and the park.
You cook Cajun when you're there or no?
No, since it's an old-timey place, last year I did chicken and dumplings.
Oh boy.
And ham and beans and cornbread.
If you make red beans and rice in this community and people actually tasted it and figured it out how good it was, I don't think you could keep enough. A little bit of crawfish in there with it, or some,
some tasso ham.
Yeah. Oh,
I love smoked ham. I do, and it does wonders.
Cajun sausage
for red beans.
I'll bet.
But that ladle over that rice was pretty good. Made a big 8-quart Instapot full. I mean, to the brim full.
I could eat that 3 meals a day. I went from the mountains of Germany, eating Jaeger Schnitzel and all sorts of delicious stuff, thinking this is the best ever, to thrown in the middle of Cajun country in Louisiana. I was like, I'm home. Because when I was born here, we moved to Corpus Christi, Texas. So we grew up, as 3 or 4 years we were there, eating all that food. Came back here, got stationed down there. I was like, I don't ever want to leave this part of the world again. And I did, like an idiot, and came back to Corn Belt. It's so hot down there, though. I mean,
there's people up here that can cook Cajun. My sister makes some of the best shrimp and cheesy grits you ever ate.
For the longest time, getting the ingredients up here the right, like you said, flash freeze and all that, they didn't do that forever, and you couldn't do it.
Right. Well, you can now. Louisiana Crawfish Company.
I will look at that tonight.
Looking for some kickbacks now. Come on.
The very first time I ever bought Slappy Mama, I ordered it from Madame Fontenot Walker. Was the mama of those boys that came up with that, and you couldn't buy it here like you can now. So you had to order it from her. So I ordered 3 of the white pepper and 3 of the regular pepper, because I like white pepper too.
Really?
Oh yeah. So anyway, it comes to me in a box and a handwritten note from Mama Walker herself that said, "Thank you for ordering our product, and if you ever need any Cajun recipes, call me," and her phone number's out on the bottom of it.
Oh my gosh.
Did you call her?
Well, yeah.
Are you gonna enlighten us of what went on, or no?
No, she just. I mean, I asked her. It was her recipe for my crawfish etouffee.
Why are we just finding out about this?
Well, because you don't ever come to visit. Yeah. Come to visit. I tell you what. The assessor's office is a destination.
Yeah, but now I got to park 7 blocks away and make my way through that maze. I guess I could park up front and just sneak over there. Yeah.
It's not much.
Well, I have 2 pounds of crawdad in the ditch in front of my house. Might be there, but not. Those are not crawfish. Those are crawdads.
Well,
they're similar family. I'm not. Now, do you eat the heads? Eat the brains?
Huh? No.
Couldn't do that?
I can't do it. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm just.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah, I just.
I mean, you're fighting for food that's this big.
Yeah, I know.
And so when you snap, eat, book, then you throw it away. It goes so much smoother. But you remember, like I said, there's a lot of alcohol being drank at that table when they would just dump those crawfish right there. Coolest thing ever. Remember, I went from Germany to there, and I had a buddy that was in Germany with me, lived north of Houston. So like my second weekend there, I'm like, I'm going to go see him. I'm off for the next 2 days. So I jump in the car, and I know about where he lives. Back then, you had to go by maps, and I found him. But they had drive-through liquor stores that you could order spicy, hot crawfish with your drink of choice for your journey to north of Houston, out in the middle of nowhere, Texas. So yeah,
In case you get hungry while you're on your way.
I would hit that drive-through and get 20 pieces of 20 or 10 pounds or 20 pieces. I forget what it was. It's a lot, but I'd eat them the whole way there.
Matt, don't get him going. Don't get him going.
Noodles belong in chili.
That's right.
Thank you very much. I argue that online all the time.
Yeah, it's a long-standing.
Reva, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Especially the last half an hour of the show. I thought it was the greatest show
that was
ever.
the best part of it, wasn't
See
it?
me perk up.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
taxes. VA's already cheating me over, and I'm also crawfish. Or what are you talking about? You got to be kidding me. I had no idea. Mm-hmm. You can make some red beans and rice. Oh boy, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
How often? When's your next political wise? When you run again?
I'm running right now.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I want a sign in my yard from the greatest assessor in the state of Indiana.
I don't have signs because you know why? Because you have to be a level 3 certified appraiser to even sign up for this,
So
and nobody's stupid enough but me to run. Here I am. And I'm going to I said I might not even vote for myself. And then a few people said, oh, we're voting for you. I'm like, man, mess that up.
This is not a political show, but vote for that young lady right over there.
Oh.
She's got to get in.
Oh, my God.
No, they do not, Savannah. I will die on that hill.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Beth, you got anything you want to add before we get out of here?
I don't think
Almost
so.
2 hours.
I know.
Taxes and crawfish.
Oh, how long were we in your office?
I don't know, like
Hours.
3, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, she lives it,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
We could ask questions. I sound dumb 1,000 times and still not understand them all.
And I'm never off the clock, so if anybody sees me out and you have a question, ask.
Do not ask her off the clock.
Yeah.
Just do a recap real quick, just for those who have joined us right now and
Holy
weren't on
Trinity,
early.
that is... Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Wrong recap.
Oh, no. So, the end of this week, beginning of next week, you're going to get a bill in the mail from the auditor's office for your tax year 2025 property taxes. So either you're going to get the actual bill that you have to pay, or you're going to at least get a notice to let you know that it's, of course, been sent to your mortgage company,
Savannah,
which
it's
could
okay to be
affect
wrong.
your escrow, because taxes probably have gone up a little bit. But then at the end of April, beginning of May, you'll receive your tax year 2026 assessment.
Right.
So if you look at that and you believe that your assessment is not what you could sell your home for, or you look at it and you see that items are incorrect on there.
Well, it's just value on
it's just
there.
value.
Yeah.
It doesn't have all the detail. Okay. So, all right. So if you think you cannot sell your house for what your assessment says on your notice that you get at the end of April, you need to go into the assessor's office and talk to Reva. Or,
Right.
yeah.
Somebody in there.
Yeah.
I'll be there, I'll guarantee you.
Kathy. Kathy usually talk to most people when they first come in.
Kathy, Rick, me.
I'll be up all night. Okay. Yeah. And they'll go through what they have listed for your home. What?
200 milligrams of caffeine.
I've been drinking it over hours, though, so surely I'm okay, right?
I kept smelling, remember the pink strawberries and Captain Crunch? Mm-hmm. I kept smelling that. I'm
Goldfish.
like, who's... I mean, that's the flavor.
It does, yeah.
I was like, who's got the Captain Crunch berries?
Oh my gosh, guys.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. But again, so if you do need to go in and see Reva, if you don't like, or you might not like what your assessment is regardless, but if you want to go into the assessor's office and talk about your assessment that you're going to receive at the end of April, you only have until June 15th to get that done. Right?
Correct. For that year.
Yeah. So after June 15th, your 2026 assessment is in stone, I guess, right?
Right.
And you'll get billed that tax bill
in 27.
in 27.
anytime you have a question, feel free to call.
Okay. Anything else, Kev?
But it's not tax related.
I don't care. Call. I've got one gentleman that calls me to ask me how to play riffs on guitar. So, your tax dollars at work. I answer all questions that I can.
Do you watch the one guy that he cooks the vat? I think it's gumbo. No, he makes jambalaya. Oh my gosh. The vat has to be almost as big as this table. Sausage, chicken, shrimp, crawfish. Looks so good. But I think he adds way too much liquid for my taste. I like it a little thicker.
Yeah, that's an art, though.
Yeah.
Because if you
couldn't cook that. I would never be able to cook all that food at once.
Laissez-les bon temps rouler.
Oh, no, I can't speak it.
That means let the good times roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you ever down there?
Yeah. I went to Bro Bridge to the Crawfish Festival. Have you ever been there? No. That's fun.
No. I got deployed to Panama halfway through there.
The look on your face, I'm not sure which way you're going with that.
Oh, it's...
No, it's fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
Louisiana, though, it's open for interpretation what fun is down there. That's crazy.
No, I went 3 years ago down. We drove down through the Blues Trail.
Oh, okay.
So down, which is really cool too. So we went through Memphis, because the music part of me. And
you go through Nacogdoches?
No.
It's a pretty cool city.
We did
Natchitoches and Nacogdoches, Texas and Louisiana.
Right. We went through Greenwood and then back into Mississippi and then down that way.
What's that, interstate? No.
Oh, I wasn't driving. I was riding. Anyway, it was a really fun trip. We ate at we didn't eat anywhere except for little gas stations that had been turned into. Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
And I took pictures of everything I ate. I was like, oh my God. And you know what the first thing I ordered was? Red beans and rice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
No.
So good. So delicious.
Matt, I bet the property taxes are cheaper in Louisiana.
When we were down there hog hunting, Matt, and I know you've heard a story Otis and I were telling it, you would drive, we drove about 10, 15 miles out to where the ranch was, and the properties, and I was stationed down there, and I knew it was bad then. There's almost all the properties in this town would look like Foxcliff compared to the areas we drove through there. But every now and then you would see out in the middle of nowhere a guy, brand new parking lot and house and fresh yard, and then 200 yards down the road there's a half house, and I was like, man, these folks are just poor down here. It didn't help they got hammered by that huge hurricane a few years ago though too.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
Okay.
I gotta go home and close my eyes for. Don't you have a meeting to go to, Beth?
Probably, yeah.
Maybe.
Thank you guys. It was a great show. A 2-hour show tonight. I'm taking the rest of the week off.
No, we'll be back tomorrow. Bible show.
By the way, I got a show Thursday night too, I think.
Bible study tomorrow night.
That's
Bible
right.
for Dummies.
Bible for Dummies.
Reva's going to come in and show us how the Holy Trinity applies to making crawfish, jambalaya, and gumbo, whatever you want to add it to. Love you guys. Reva, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Very
This
much
has been
informative.
fun.
And we're going to have you back in.
Yeah, anytime.
Serious.
Yeah, talk about anything you want.
Oh, it's going to be crawfish. I mean, it's going to be Love you guys, Beth. Thank you as always. See you guys tomorrow evening, Bible for Dummies, 8 p.m. sharp, not 7.
That's right, 8 p.m. Kevin.
You guys have a great night. Love you. We'll see you soon.